Hi, and welcome to the Washington Mentorship Program webinar. My name is Sarah Basilian, and I'm a coordinator of undergraduate programs. Today, we'll be talking about the Washington Mentorship Program, of which I'm an alum. I completed the program in fall 2012, and I'm also joined today by other program alums who you'll hear from throughout the presentation. At American University in the Washington Mentorship Program, you'll set the foundation for college and your future as you build work experience and achieve academic success. I'm joined today by three WMP alums. Let's have them introduce themselves. Eva, why don't you start us off?
Hi, my name is Eva Endahl. I am one of the most recent graduates from the WMP program, still at the end of my freshman year. I'm from New Jersey, and I'm currently pursuing a double major in political science and journalism. For me, the best part of AU is by far the location because unlike a lot of city schools, we have a closed campus and we really get that small campus feel, but at the same time we are in DC and we can use our U passes and be pretty much anywhere in the district within a half hour to see the museums and the monuments and anything else you can really think of.
Hi, my name is Nazli Togrel. I was in the Washington Mentorship Program in 2015, so I'm a junior now. I'm from Turkey and I grew up in South Africa. My major is journalism with a minor in international relations, and I think the best part of AU and the Washington Mentorship Program is kind of the community that we have, not only in Leonard Hall where the mentorship kids live together, but also that's something that carries on with you after you leave the mentorship program, and I know that my friends and I, we still get together and hang out.
Hi, my name is Geneva Opong. I'm one of the older Washington Mentorship Program alum. I'm from New Jersey as well. My degree is in accounting with a minor in finance, and I would have to say the best part of AU would really have to be the faculty. I think in my experience as an undergrad, I've really been supported by my professors, both as a student but also professionally, and I think that's something very unique to AU is that the professors really support you in every aspect of your educational experience.
Great. So throughout this conversation, you'll have the opportunity to hear from Eva, Nazli, and Geneva and their experiences in the Washington Mentorship Program. In the Washington Mentorship Program, you'll intern in DC while taking college classes at American University. The program is cohort-based and is a living learning community, meaning that you live together with Washington Mentorship Program students and you also take classes with them. So you all live together on American University's main campus, and while you're living on campus as an AU student, you have access to all of AU's resources. So I'll ask the alums here to jump in and talk about kind of what it's like to live in that living learning community, living on AU's campus. What were your experiences like?
Sure. I guess one of the best parts of being in the Washington Mentorship Program and being in that community and that cohort is it takes away the really scary part of starting college where you really don't know anyone. You're trying to figure things out, kind of may have left your friends back home, and you're really in this new place in this new space to really, redefine yourself, really figure out who you are and what you stand for. And being in a cohort that serves as a community, I think it's a great place to start because now you're with a group of people who are in the same program with you, and it allows you to build a friendship and really relationships really early on. So I think that's one of the best parts of being in the Washington Mentorship Program.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like because you're taking classes with the same kids that you're living with and you're hanging out with, it really helps you to form like a great support system for issues that you may encounter not only in like your first semester but going through the rest of like your transition to second semester and on in college. It's like really helpful to have people who are going through the same thing that you are.
Mm-hmm. But also don't think that you'll be stuck in this little bubble of just mentorship or like just the people that you're living with. You do get out there and you can join clubs if you want to, and you can kind of branch off to your friends' other friends, and you kind of can make your own little community also.
As a mentorship program student, you'll take classes that align with the new American University core curriculum. These classes allow the opportunity to test out different areas and explore your interests. The mentorship program aligns with the idea of the new AU core as it incorporates elements of exploring your career, intercultural understanding, and learning about inquiry. Together, the mentorship program and the core set the foundation for success and development as a student and keep you on track to graduate in 4 years' time. Mentorship program students take 12 or 15 credits in the fall semester. All of these credits follow you to the spring semester and your degree program. So all students take the first 3 courses listed here: intercultural understanding, mentored field practicum, and college writing. And then if you take 12 credits, you have the option of one of the following courses. If you take 15 credits, you have the option of 2 of the following courses: an introduction to college inquiry, politics in the US, or a math or a basic statistics course. So do you want to talk about your experiences in classes?
I most recently graduated, so I just took these classes a few months ago, and I can't explain how much I loved my professors, especially because all of them were extremely different and all of them were really knowledgeable. And the great thing about the mentorship program is that you're all taking these classes together, and all of your professors are aware that you're taking these classes, and they're really there to help you not only with your workload and learning to adjust to college, but in addition, they're there to help you with your internship as well. My college inquiry course was my favorite course that I took in the Washington Mentorship Program because I had never really taken a research course before, and we were tasked with picking a topic that we were really passionate about and doing our own research and eventually writing our own research paper. I really loved my professor, and it was really interesting for me to get to dive into one topic that I was passionate about and do my own research about it and perform my own studies and interviews, and eventually coming out with a really great product.
My favorite class was definitely the intercultural understanding class, and we had a great professor, and he would keep in touch with us all the time, and it goes to show that like the professors don't forget about you after you leave the mentorship program. This one professor, he was just really knowledgeable, and then he would have a brunch for his students every few weeks or so just to get together and kind of discuss like what's happening in intercultural understanding and kind of like get more into the topic. And we had some really great projects, and I could actually had this one opportunity where I could like present a kind of intercultural understanding related topic on the countries that I'm from, so that the teacher in the class could understand me better, and that was just a really great opportunity to have.
Yeah, definitely. I would say like my favorite class was intercultural understanding as well, considering the fact that, I was starting my college experience in DC, which is this global hub, and then to really, really start off my college experience taking intercultural understanding and really appreciating other cultures and understanding what makes us different, but what also makes us similar. So I think that was a really great experience for me. We got to go to Embassy Row and look at, different embassies and really experience and understand different cultures, which was very important for me considering the fact that I'm Ghanaian American. So it was great to share my culture, but also learn about new culture.
Yeah, great. And I know for me, even 6 years ago now, as a mentorship student, I had similar experiences. And the great thing about these classes is they're like all AU classes, and that obviously, they're taught by AU professors, but they also like to use DC as a classroom. So your classes are more interactive and experiential based, and they might even feature some site visits and guest speakers. So the professors really do make an effort to incorporate Washington, DC into the classroom and get students involved in the city as well. So you'll see here an example of what your week would look like as a Washington Mentorship Program student.
So the classes and the internship time is selected on purpose so that you have enough time to do everything. So on Tuesdays and Fridays, you have the whole day to go to your internship and do that, but your classes are kind of scheduled to give you some kind of comfort and time to kind of get lunch or do whatever else you need to do in the day. So this entire schedule is planned with the idea in mind that you're doing an internship and taking classes. So they're really thinking of you when they set this program.
Yeah, Eva, do you have something to add?
Yeah, for me, I was really worried about the social life on campus coming on because it appears like we're isolated in the mentorship program because we are taking classes with other mentorship kids. But for me, it was really easy to find time for myself, find time to go out and join clubs and activities, go to parties and have a good time and make friends that are outside of the WMP. And learning how to budget your time, taking classes in addition to doing an internship was such a valuable skill to have right off the bat, because now going into my second semester, I know what works and what doesn't work in terms of studying, and I've already kind of been through the ringer when it comes to working an internship and taking classes, so I definitely know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I would agree with that too. I definitely found that my semester in the Washington Mentorship Program helped me with time management. I think that was one of the biggest skills I gained. And I found that I was better at scheduling my time going into spring semester and managing my assignments and my free time as well. So it's a big skill that WMP students tend to develop during the semester. The Mentored Field Practicum, commonly referred to as MFP, is your internship, which is supplemented by a classroom component. Your internship is guided by your professor and Amy Morrill-Bigeau, our Director of Experiential Education. Over the summer, in conjunction with the mentorship program team, you will build your resume and learn to write a cover letter. You can see the timeline here. You'll start with your resume and cover letter review in June or July, and once your resume is complete, you'll gain access to our internship database. Most students do not find an internship over the summer, but we do expect students to start their search over the summer. Amy holds online advising sessions over the summer each week to help students with their internship search. So even over the summer, we want you to be enjoying yourself and enjoying your summer before starting college, but you can also be in touch with us throughout those few months to get a leg up on your internship search and get that one-on-one advising that you need. By the time you come to campus in August, you'll be ready to go and ready to launch your search into full swing, and we'll help you every step of the way until you have your internship secured. We even have an internship fair the first day of classes where it's usually around 100 different organizations come to campus and set up in Bender Arena, and students can go around and meet with representatives from different organizations, learn about the organizations, and see if maybe at some place they're interested in interning. And you can make some connections, hand out your resume, and some students have gotten internships from the fair or gotten interviews. So the internship fair is a great opportunity to continue your internship search once you get to campus. And 90% of students do have an internship by the third week in the program. So once you get here, it goes pretty quickly. You kind of hit the ground running. But I went through it, and all of the students here with me went through it, and we can say it can be a little intimidating, but you have help and support the entire way. And our students are very successful in securing their internships in just a few weeks after getting to campus. Is there anything you want to add about the internship search?
Well, I actually secured my internship because of the internship fair, and I was really overwhelmed because I didn't have an internship coming in, and I thought that I needed to. But the best thing you can do over the summer is to keep in contact with the faculty in the WMP program and have them help you with your resume and cover letter. That way, when you get here, you're all ready to go and you can find an internship on your own.
Basically what I did was I applied. I was just really excited. I applied to literally all the places during the summer. I was just very anxious to find an internship, but take my advice, don't be stressed. One of the places that I applied to actually did not get back to me for about 2 months, and then I went to the internship fair. I found them at that place, and I went to them and I said, hey, I actually submitted a resume to you, but I didn't hear back anything. How's that going? Could you update me if you have any idea, what happened to the application submitted over the summer? And that lady that was just there, she literally found my resume, took it out of the pile and put it straight on top just because I had told her that I had applied, and I was just really excited. And I got a message, an email later that day saying I'd been accepted into the program. So you really have to go and put yourself out there and kind of network a little bit.
I think my experience a combination of the two. So again, during the summer was looking for internships, sending out my resume, having my resume reviewed, having my cover letter reviewed, and it was a bit frustrating because I wasn't really hearing back. But as soon as I got on campus, as soon as I was in DC, I went to career fair. I was able to network with the professors, really leverage the WMP network, and secure an amazing internship. So I think it really is twofold. You putting in the work, sending your resume, and also being patient and waiting for the opportunity to present itself.
Right, yeah, and like Geneva just said, the internship search is kind of twofold. It is a partnership between you as a student and the mentorship program staff and your professors. So if you work together, you'll have a great experience in the internship search. Here are examples of places Washington Mentorship Program students have interned in the past. And this is really just a small sample. We actually have connections at over 3,000 internship sites in DC, and our internship database has more than 3,000 possible internships in it. So this is really a small sampling, but even from this, you can see that there's a good mix of government internships, of course, because we're in DC, business-based internships, things in the arts and humanities, nonprofits, education. There's really something for everyone.
I interned at a nonprofit organization called Environment America, and I came into DC passionate about politics, but not really sure what I wanted to do. I got a few different options from different organizations, but I liked Environment America because it was really hands-on, and I think that that's an experience that's almost universal between me and a lot of the other WMP students. Is a lot of the work that you're doing is good work. It's not just brainless and intern work, basically. But for me, I attribute so much to my internship at Environment America. I became such a good writer because of the amount of writing I was doing through it. I ended up getting published in the Washington Post and the New York Times by the time I even turned 19, and it caused me to start a double major rather than just a major in political science. And the experience that I got from that internship, which I just kind of took because I wanted to be somewhere that was doing good work, it's really valuable.
When I applied to quite a few internships over the summer, I applied to Voice of America, but I didn't think that I would get it because on the application it said looking for juniors and seniors, but my advisors here kind of encouraged me to kind of go for it anyway, like you never know what might happen. So I applied to that. I heard back from other internships and I kind of kept them a little bit on the line. I wasn't really sure about my decision yet. I still had time to decide also. So I waited to hear back from Voice of America, and I did, and I actually did get it. So that goes to show that, like, aim higher than you think you will get, and, like, because you'll never know what might happen.
I had the opportunity to intern at the Trust for the National Mall, which is the nonprofit partner for the National Mall, and I can say that my internship experience was hands down amazing. The reason why I love my experience so much is, to begin with, I was really for the mission of the Trust for the National Mall. Essentially, their goal was to help preserve the National Mall, and they would go and reach out to high net worth individuals and seek funding to really preserve a core part of American history. So I was really passionate about that mission, but I was also working with great and amazing people, and I could see that from the career fair that the people who were coming representing the nonprofit were really excited about the mission, which made me really excited about it. So it was a great internship experience, and I learned a lot.
So the Mentored Field Practicum seminar is the classroom component of the internship. Your professor guides your internship, and at the beginning of your internship, each student will fill out what we call an experiential learning form, also commonly known as the ELF, and this lays out your job responsibilities. So the student and internship site supervisor will sit down and have a discussion about the student's responsibilities during the internship, and they'll put that down on the ELF. Then it goes to Amy, again our Director of Experiential Education, who will also review the form, and then from there it goes on to the professors. So at all levels, from the student to the internship site supervisor to our Director of Experiential Education to the student's professor, everyone signs off on the internship and what the student is doing, so it's supervised the entire time. The Mentored Field Practicum seminar is graded, so there is a grade associated with the internship and with the classroom component to the internship. 40% of the grade is determined by the internship site supervisor evaluation of the student, which is where the ELF also comes into play. And then the professor's grade for the student counts towards 60% of the final grade. And the professor determines the student's grade through assignments like reflection journals, informational interviews, class presentations, and an end of semester reflective paper. So do you all want to talk about your experiences in this class?
Sure. I really like this class because you have the freedom to kind of like do an internship on your own, but that's the thing, you're not necessarily on your own. You're out there kind of working, but you also have this amazing like support system. So if there is a problem at your internship and you're not quite sure how to address it, which might be the case because I mean you're a freshman like coming into university and doing an internship right away. So if you have like any concerns with your supervisor, you can bring that up to your Mentored Field Practicum professor and they can kind of help you how to navigate that. And if all else fails, they can contact them for you and like they can kind of work out what's happening.
Your MFP teacher is really there to support you, and that's awesome because I know coming in, I of course was overwhelmed because I was starting college and I had never experienced this chapter of my life before, and my MFP teacher reached out to all of us and made sure that we were meeting with her and that we were talking about our path to finding an internship and the pros and the cons. And the class itself was great because we were all just in a very relaxed space on Monday nights, and we would talk about what was going on in our internships. And if one person was struggling, they could really bring it to the group, and we could all talk about ways to handle it and ways to do things differently that could result in different outcomes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with my peers. I think the best part of the Mentorfield Practicum seminar is it's essentially this ingrained touch point that really allows you to reflect with your professor about your internship experience, which was great for me because you kind of take a step away from, your coursework and your internship, and you really have a moment to see where you are, how you're doing, kind of where you want to be towards the end of the semester. So I think it was a great place to really reflect on the Washington Mentorship Program as a whole.
As a Washington Mentorship Program student, you'll live on AU's main campus, usually in Leonard Hall. And as a WMP student, you're really a full-fledged member of the AU community, so you'll have access to all of AU's resources, any clubs you want to join, organizations, guest speakers, or events on campus. I know when I was at AU for undergrad, some of the speakers I saw included Madeleine Albright, Bill Nye, Laverne Cox, so there's really a great mix of people who AU brings to campus to speak, and I'll let our alums speak about their own experiences living on AU's campus.
So I live in Leonard Hall, and it was just a really great community. I don't know, my floor was just very kind of like interested in like making friends and kind of being involved in each other's lives, so it was like very cool. And on Tuesdays and Fridays when we had our internship days, I guess everybody would kind of go to their internship during similar hours, so you would have everybody kind of getting ready together at like 8 or 9 a.m., kind of having breakfast in the kitchen, and it was just a very great like community, and then people would come back and hang out and do homework together, so I just think it was great living in Leonard Hall together.
Yeah, Leonard's nice. I'm still there, so finishing up my year in Leonard. I liked the mentorship program because it wasn't hard to get involved in other activities on campus. Like, besides from not being able to join varsity sports, there's nothing WMP kids can't do. Today I'm a member of a few different organizations, all really different from one another. And I love that we're so close to the gym. Like, literally, it's like a 2-second walk away from Leonard. It's great.
I guess I'm a senior, so I can kind of run the full spectrum here. So I lived in Leonard as well, and then I, got my fair share of experience at McDowell, Cassell, Nebraska. I joined a fraternity. I joined Alpha Kappa Psi, which is the professional business fraternity. I ended up interning again. I do go to Cassell. I still go to Cassell Fitness Center. So I think like my life at AU has been a very holistic experience. I've kind of experienced all the different halls for the most part. I really got that internship experience, which was really pioneered by the WMP program. And I think I also just lived a normal college experience where, I got to be a college student and really explore DC, my community, and have fun with friends.
But also don't think that as soon as you come in, you have to join all these clubs and be like really involved, because I'm an international student. When I came in, I was just kind of trying to adjust at first. Mm-hmm. So I didn't join anything really my first semester, but I also didn't think that I missed out on that much, because it's okay to just take a second to kind of adjust and calm down. And I was just happy with my classes and my internship and kind of making friends. And then the second semester, when I moved on to the degree program, that's when I joined a few clubs, and I really kind of found what I was interested in. So that was a great transition.
Right, yeah. So like Nazli and Geneva just said, there's no wrong approach here. You can kind of ease into it, like Nazli said, and adjust first, or you can really jump right in with both feet. But it's really up to you to create your own experience and embrace the opportunities that you want to, and have a great time during your career at American University. So keep in mind that you aren't just choosing the mentorship program, but you're also choosing American University for 4 years. So why choose AU? There are some pretty compelling stats here on the slide, but our alums also have some great insight into this, and I'll let Geneva speak a little bit. She's our senior here, the oldest alum we have in our group, besides me, but we'll let Geneva speak since she's still an AU student, and maybe she has some cool insight to share.
Of course. I think AU, or choosing AU, was one of the best decisions I made in my youth. I say that because it really developed who I am as a student, but who I am as a professional. And I think that was only an experience that I could have been afforded at a school like AU. You're really in this space where you're surrounded by international people, so you really get this really diverse perspective that's really appreciated outside of DC, considering the fact that businesses are global, the world as we know it is becoming more global, more interconnected. So that really set me apart as a professional and as a student, as a candidate for any opportunity. But also I really got to build my resume early on. I think what really set me apart is I had these great internship opportunities. I was able to build these professional skill sets really early on and kind of get ahead of the game. So I think AU and really Washington Mentorship Program really set the stage for my professional trajectory and some of the opportunities I've been afforded. So in addition to working at the Trust for the National Mall, I also worked at the Smithsonian, which was amazing. I also had 2 internships at Goldman Sachs, which was great. So really, I think being in WMP, choosing AU and the internship opportunities, the faculty, and really the community that I was afforded because of that decision really set the tone for all the accomplishments and success I've had throughout my 4 years.
Yeah, I actually chose AU because of the Washington Mentorship Program, and that's because I wouldn't have had the opportunity to do an internship otherwise because I'm an international student. And basically, I got to do an internship at Voice of America. That's considered one of the School of Communications Dean's internships and usually awarded to juniors or seniors who are like very high qualifying. And I had the opportunity to do that by myself with the mentorship program. So that was such a great opportunity, and it's definitely opened a lot of doors for me.
So after the mentorship program in your fall semester, students will move into their degree program in the spring. If experiences your fall semester help you decide what you want to do, if you were an unintended major, or if you did come in with a major that you thought you wanted to pursue, but your experiences in the fall have kind of changed your mind, we can very easily change your major for you. One of the great things about American University is that when you're accepted to all of AU. So that means all of the schools within AU, School of International Service, School of Public Affairs, School of Communications, Arts and Sciences, the Business School. So you don't have to apply to change your major or apply into one of the other schools. You can just change your major. So we will help you in the fall semester to get you registered and ready to go for the spring, and then come spring semester, you start your degree program.
So when you're saying yes to AU, there are a couple things you can do to kind of learn more about the WMP, the Washington Mentorship Program. For me, I hadn't toured AU before Accepted Students Day, before Freshman Day. I had never been on campus. I had never seen pictures of AU. I was completely blind. The only reason I applied was because my guidance counselor told me it would be a good home for me, so I did. After I got my acceptance into the Washington Mentorship Program, my mom really fell in love with WMP. She thought it was an awesome opportunity. She loved that I got to do an internship in DC. She thought it was wonderful. And so her and I headed down for freshman day, and that was kind of the reason that I chose AU. Hearing from students who had already gone through the program, hearing their experiences, learning about the support system that you're going to have immediately on campus was really persuasive, and I chose AU because of this program, and I chose it because of other kids that I've talked to who have helped me and who have really convinced me that this really was the best way to start my college career.
Yeah, Ava's totally right. One of the best ways to learn more about this program and about AU is to attend Freshman Day. And also to talk to other students and alums who have completed the mentorship program, whether that's at Freshman Day, in our Facebook, which we'll have linked in a minute, or if you reach out to us, we can connect you directly with an alum of the program. So if you want to learn more, we can put you in touch via email or through the phone, and you can learn more by talking to students who have completed the program. And you're also welcome to visit campus. If you'd like to visit and meet with our program staff, we're happy to meet with you. So you just shoot us an email and we'll set up a visit for you. And keep in mind that deposits for the mentorship program and for AU are due May 1st. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our email address is mentorship@american.edu, and you can also reach us on the phone at 202-895-4936. We have mentorship program staff available to speak with you, and we'll also have some program alums in the office who can talk to you one-on-one and answer your questions about being in the program. You can also connect with us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can see our handles right there on the slide. Thank you so much for joining us for this webinar, and thank you to the alums who are here with me, Eva, Nazli, and Geneva. I really appreciate you all joining today and talking about your experiences in the mentorship program. So to those of you listening, thank you again, and we all hope to welcome you to AU this fall.